In this video, we will discuss post-colonialism, but before that, let's clear some terms like post-colonial, post-colonialism, post-colonial theory, and post-colonial literature. Post-colonial, post means after, so basically it discusses aftermath of colonization. Post-colonialism is an approach that discusses about the impact colonizer had on the colonized people. Now coming to post-colonial literature. Post, the word here is little tricky because it means aftermath, but it includes literature of both the time during the colonization period and after that. It includes both the writers, European and the non-Europeans. So the perspective of both the writer is included in it. Post-colonial theory digs into the understanding of how European took away the identity of the non-Europeans. So I hope the words are clear. The post-colonial criticism. Critics look into the text and analyze how in a work Orients are represented by the Westerns or how Westerns are represented by the Orient in a text and the kind of language that has been used by them. Since the language plays an important role, the kind of language used shows the acceptance of the writer of their own identity and culture or whether they want to show the superiority of their own culture and language. There are three important words related to the writers choosing a certain language. These are adopt, adapt, and adapt. Adopt phase is a phase in which writer accepts the norms and standards set by the Europeans to get the publicity to their own books. The adapt phase is the one in which the writers allow somewhat intervention of the European norms and standard in their work. So there is a hybridity of the work. But in the adapt phase, the writers remain confined to its own language and cultures to regain its own identity. And no intervention of the European norms and standards are allowed in these writings. Language plays an important role since it is also one of the major tools used by the Westerns to show their own superiority. Post-colonial criticism can be traced to Frantz Fanon, The Wretched of the Earth, in which he argued that the first step for colonized people is finding a voice and an identity to reclaim their own past. Since their minds are embedded with ideas filled with superiority of the Occident, it has to be cleared from their mind that Orients are in any way lesser than the Occidents. That can be done by understanding their own culture and voicing for themselves in their own languages. The other important work is of Edward Said, Orientalism. It exposes the superiority of the Eurocentrics, how they accept and celebrate beliefs or things that are close to them and mock and reject the manner, the things, the beliefs of the marginalized people. Because they are no one to set the standard. Every language is unique, every belief is unique, and they are no one to set a standard, set a mark, benchmark for which every culture has to meet. So Said exposes it. This is one of the important work that everyone must read. Now coming to the part where we will discuss the major writers and their work. The first one is Chinua Achebe. He has written a trilogy, Things Fall Apart, No Longer at Ease, and Arrow of God. In these novels, he shows how colonization has affected their social, political, and economical system. Things Fall Apart is a title taken from Yeats' Second Coming. Joseph Conrad, Heart of Darkness. Heart of Darkness and Things Fall Apart can be read as a parallel study because in both the novels, Africa is represented, but in one, it's from the perspective of an African, and the other, it is from the perspective of an European. In Heart of Darkness, African are represented as uncivilized and barbaric, whereas Chinua Achebe shows that they have their own system, their own belief, and that is working perfectly. The other major works include Albert Camus' The Outsider, Jane Austen Mansfield Park, Patrick White Was, George Fleming in The Castle of My Skin, E.M. Forster, A Passage to India, and some other major writers like Homi Bhabha, Gayatri Spivak, Wol Soyinka are the writers whom you need to read in order to understand the post-colonial literature and also from the perspective of NET exam. Let us discuss some MCQs related to the topic. First one is the term used for the state of being other or different in post-colonial is. The answer is alterity. Ambivalence means to have contradictory ideas or belief to some object or something. Aporia is unseen things written in a text that comes under intertextuality. Hybridity is the mixture of different culture or different groups. Next question, find odd one out. Answer is Stephen Greenwald, because rest of them are post-colonial critic, whereas Stephen is a historic critic. Third, Shooting an Elephant is written by. The answer is George Orwell. Question 4. I know nothing of this silence except that it lies outside the reach of my intelligence, beyond words. That is why the silence must win, must inevitably defeat me, because it is not a presence at all. These lines are from which novel? The answer is The Shadow of Lines, written by Amitav Ghosh. G is the name of protagonist in which of the George Orwell's work? The answer is In the Castle of Myaskin, written by George Lemming. Which work of Jean Rhee is thought to be a post-modern response to Jane Eyre, especially of Eyre's character Bertha? And the answer is Wild Sargasso Sea. Hope everything is clear.